Well, hello, Quang. Thank you very much for being here with us today. Now, you are a very celebrated pianist, not only in Vietnam, but also in Australia as well. So can you tell me a little bit more about how you started your career as an artist?
It was my father who introduced me to the music. He first bought me this electronic keyboard. It was called electronic organ. And then I start to touch the white key and the black keys and start to play a few notes. And it was very natural. It was like a hobby at first. And then I enjoyed playing the piano after studying homework. And sometimes my father's got friends come over and then I would play something.
So you had a passion for piano from very early on, since you were a child, like 5 years old. So what was your inspiration for playing music?
I think the biggest click was my first international competition in Japan. And it was a Chopin competition. And I remember the first day I saw these two brilliant Japanese play all these power pieces. And I was, oh my God, what am I doing here? I was so overwhelmed. And then after I finished my performance, I stayed back and I watched the whole competition. Each pianist, each categories, we spent a week just listening. And that was the sort of biggest click.
Born in 1990, the 22-year-old pianist has achieved a number of honorary awards for his piano virtuosity. The rising star is well known not only in Vietnam but also in Australia, where he is currently studying. His journey to the land of the Golden Fleece has helped him grow tremendously as a pianist. When you studied in Australia, what did you find was the biggest difference between the educational system in Australia and the educational system in Vietnam?
In Australia, the performing arts industry is very active, very dynamic. And usually in a year, they would have this performing arts challenge competitions. And also the opportunities to attend a lot of concerts, performances in the Sydney Opera House or many other recitals, many other places. So the environment made me want to do it.
How did you benefit from this difference?
It's not that what we learned in Vietnam is not correct or wrong. What we learned here, all this stuff are very, very useful and extremely, fundamental and very important. But again, we're doing a performance measure. And what can we do with the performance measure if we don't get the chance to perform? So in Australia, for example, in my school, usually I have to perform once per week. We have this class called performance class every week. And not to mention the exam, of course, and after exam, end of year concert. And also, as I was saying before, lots of national competitions, lots of events, national championship, national awards. You just have to be very active.
Every time Quang comes back to Vietnam, he keeps an open door to other young Vietnamese pianists who share his passion for music. He often visits the Hanoi Academy of Music and meets with the students here who have also chosen the piano as their career path. Many students here are familiar with Quang and they see him as an inspiration.
Quang and I used to be in the same piano class. He is very successful now and is a role model for everyone else to follow.
Every pianist dreams of becoming famous. When I hear Quang playing, it makes me want to be able to play like him, and one day also become successful like him.
During the 6 years he spent studying in Australia, Quang kept in touch with his first piano teacher, Mrs. Trần Thu Hà. Besides visiting his family, Quang always finds time in his busy schedule to meet with her when he comes back.
The most unique character of Quang is his independence. Of course, no one can become successful in this field without instruction, but with his talents and burning passion for music, Quang has learned a lot by himself through research. That is his strength.
During your study in Australia, you came back to Vietnam many times and you get free performances here in Vietnam many times as well. So what was the goal of these performances?
Well, first of all, I'm a Vietnamese. I love my country and I'm proud to be a Vietnamese. And second of all, I believe, in the bright future for the next generation of Vietnamese pianists. In this classical music scene, we are still new. We are still fresh and young. So lots of things to learn, lots of things to be corrected, lots of things to be improved. So why don't we work on it together? When I played, when I learned, when I study overseas, when I perform in concerts, when I play competitions, I don't play for just myself. I'm observing all these things and hoping one day I could, use them wisely and share them with the younger generations, and together we can steadily develop and bring the standard of the classical music in Vietnam.
Well, thank you very much, Quang, for being here on our show today.
My pleasure.
It's been a great pleasure for me to hear about your story and know about your goals here in Vietnam as well as your goal as an artist. Thank you very much.
Yeah, my pleasure.